I believe we're on the brink of a new age.
Hey guys, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some astrology because I'm really into astrology, but I don't know a lot about it, so I might be very reluctant to share it on here. But this is something I'm really interested in, and I wanted to relate it to kind of fashion at the same time because I thought it would make it a bit different. So let's get straight into it. So today I'm going to be talking about the age of Aquarius, and I'm kind of like trying to relate it to fashion in a way, and because a fashion has a lot to do with what we see in the environment and what's going on in the world, and it's very like, it isn't just a piece of clothing, like it means something. I'll leave all my references down below so that you can check them out. Some of them aren't actually like legitimate or anything. I haven't like gone and like read books and stuff like that, but this is kind of just what I found out and what I kind of want to share with you and the people who are watching this video. So we'll break it up into little bits because there's like lots of like there's a lot to this basically, so as much as I can I'll break it up and make it as easy to understand the way I'm kind of understanding it and what it kind of means to me, if that makes sense, my take on things. Let's start off with what is the age of Aquarius.
Okay.
And that would be, well, people talk about the Aquarian age, and they don't really know what Aquarius is.
Or more so, what is Aquarius? So Aquarius is like the 11th sign, and it lives in the 11th house, and it's of the zodiac, and it is ruled by Uranus, and it is a fixed air sign. So this is what I read, and I'm gonna kind of read it out for you because I thought it was quite a good description of the Aquarius and the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is the water bearer, symbolically and eternally giving life and spiritual food to the world. The water from the vessel washes away the past, leaving room for a fresh new start. The sign of Aquarius is forward-looking and growth-orientated, concerned with equality and individual freedom. Aquarius seeks to dispense its knowledge and its vision of equality and individuality to all. That's kind of what Aquarius is. So if we think about, you're like, what is like an age, what is what? So basically we have been living in the age of Pisces, which has lasted about 300 years. So this isn't like a complete change. So you don't go from like Pisces to Aquarius. It's like a gradual change. So you maybe like start to pick up on signs that things are kind of different, you know. We've got a new generation. What kind of like, as we get older, we naturally just go like, oh, I didn't have that when I was older. Oh, I didn't know that when I was older. Wow, this new generation is just so different.
The opposite of that is focus, coming back to a center, and it's the function of the intellect. And the Aquarian age would be primarily an intellectual age.
And yeah, with each generation they will learn something new. So when we think about the age of Pisces, it's usually described as like the age of darkness in terms of illusion and fantasy, romance. Everything's very privatized. Pisces are very private beings. They're very like cautious, hesitant to open up, weary of everything and also very spiritual sign. So the age of Pisces is also coincides with the like rise of Christianity and other major religions, and also obviously Pisces is a water sign, so if we look at medicine and chemicals and things like that, all these things like can be dispensed in water. They dissolve in water, blood, fluids, that type of thing. Whereas we compare it to Aquarius, where we have a lot of technology now and things aren't connected. It flows through the air, like we have wireless connections, and also a lot of the rise of sciences, but the sciences are still very like unknown. Like there's always that black box of us in science and technology of the unknown and what we don't know what we're exactly doing, that kind of thing. So that's kind of like what the age of Pisces had. And then when we move into the age of Aquarius, which will be a slow transition, we will see kind of like more of a innovation, community, sharing. So we have like social media, always sharing, making new profiles, being very open with people. We're not as private anymore, and we're also okay with this, if that makes sense. Like before, like our parents probably, you know, your parents will be very like, don't put that online, you don't want people to know that. Whereas us now, we're just like, everyone does it. It's just the thing that we do. We just naturally began to give into this whole kind of new nature. How this translates to fashion and this year's fashion trends, this is kind of the year, I think I've kind of picked up on this whole age thing. I was reading a bit about it last year, but I kind of was picking up on a lot of signs this year that I thought, so that's kind of what I think made me want to make this video, because it was like very in my face basically, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk about it. So a lot of this year's trends, I would think, is probably going to go back into the early 2000s. That's kind of like what we're seeing. And if we think about how this is relating to the age of Aquarius, is a lot if we first think about the logo trends, so logos printed everywhere. We've got Balenciagas, Fendi, even high street fashion brands, Zara, Pretty Little Thing, putting their names on everything, and people are buying it, people are loving it, wearing like Gucci everything, just brands names printed everywhere, the logo frenzy basically. That is to do with, in the early 2000s, that was a lot to do with community. So you would see logos on everything, so like people, like models would be wearing it, celebrities would be wearing it, like everyday people would be wearing it, middle class people, because these higher unattainable brands were doing a lot of outlet stores, so people, it was more accessible to people, and it kind of built a sense of community, Aquarius, community, friendship. Also, we start to see in the early 2000s the fast fashion and kind of like globalization of fashion, wanting to always stay on top, be the trendiest item, always innovating. That is very Aquarius, always making new ideas, coming up with new ideas, thinking of new things, very knowledgeable sign. And also like that's similar with technology. Technology is always, there's always a new app, there's always a new update on your phone, like there's always something that's new and we have to just keep up with it. That's also like to do with probably why a lot of our children are more anxious, but that's another whole thing, we won't do that. It's about this kind of like consciousness. So because we have been in this darkness and illusion that Pisces have given us, we are more conscious, we're more, not even like, just open to questions like, where is our fashion coming from, who are we buying it from, what are these brands representing? So even in the early 2000s you saw a lot of faux fur, eco-friendly and ethical clothing, or upcycling. We will probably see a lot more thrifting. Like I've seen it on the internet, like people want to see more thrifty hauls rather than fast fashion hauls.
Also, before we start, I know you guys have asked for less videos with fast fashion, and I'm totally aware. I actually have a few videos with more recycled, like charity shop vintage clothing coming really soon, so please stay tuned, stay patient with me, I really appreciate it. And yeah,
and I think brands will pick up on this as well eventually and start doing that type of thing. Like Urban Outfitters has their whole basically upcycling line, ASOS has Marketplace where you buy thrifted items, renewed items, things people have made. We're looking in small businesses, we're looking to like our kind of community, like what we can get in our community rather than looking to get stuff abroad. Honestly, Aquarius is such like a technological sign, so technology, internet, and in the early 2000s we definitely saw monochromatic fashion, which is related to kind of like that sci-fi, technology themed. We saw metallics, I'm seeing that a lot now. I think like metallics is normally a New Year's thing, but I think it will carry on until into like summer this year basically. And we see a lot of like shiny blacks, like we've seen it on vinyl trousers, leather, faux leather trousers, like the shiny ones that I've seen loads of people wear. I've got a pair myself. We've got Dr. Martens, like very industrial boots, like straps and buckles, things like those belts that have those little clippy belt things. They're everywhere. And even like with the rise of internet and stuff in the early 2000s, we saw iPods were made. And they even became an accessory, like wearing iPods, having the earplug. We see that now with Beats, like wireless Beats, AirPods. It's not just a piece of technology, it's literally a fashion item. Like, we have so many different colours, things to match with what we're wearing, what clothes we're wearing, different phone backs and cases and everything. It's all part of our fashion and identity and who we are. To be honest, there is a lot more I could say about this age of Aquarius, and I'm gonna leave all my links down below so that you can go watch the people who know a little bit more than me. I just wanted to make this little video to kind of chat to you about it and what my kind of thoughts are. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give a thumbs up. I'll see you in my next one.
But I would hope that it would be significance, not just computer type intellect, but significance in the sense that significance is the fruit of intellect.
The sign for the Aquarius is a water barrier. So Aquarius is the water barrier. Christianity and other religions like Muslim? What was Muslim? Islamic? Islam. Got it in the end. Open your minds, okay?